Hi, I'm Mike Salmon. I'm the Senior Vice President of Games here at Magid, where we do research about games and all kinds of stuff. We also think about things like the metaverse, not just because it's a cool word in science fiction, because it matters to our clients, whether they be gaming clients or TV clients or consumer packaged goods clients. So today I have David Pucik, our self-anointed expert on the metaverse. So how do I, as a maker of product, get involved in the metaverse, and why should I get involved in the metaverse? And still, my question is, what is the metaverse? Because the description changes from minute to minute. Fortnite is a metaverse. Warcraft is a metaverse. None of them are. But like, what does this mean going forward? What are the things we can learn from this that consumers want and expect, even if they don't know the word metaverse?
So I think that if I'm a brand and I'm thinking, or I think to use your example, if I'm a digital content service, not necessarily a game, but a digital content service, I need to be increasingly aware that the way that people are specifically interacting with my brand and my service isn't just going to be on my platform. It's going to be everywhere else as well. And it's not just a social media thing where here's your Facebook audience and here's your Twitter audience and here's the people who are interacting with my service outside of these places. It's understanding that all of those things are going to be connected and my brand is going to be present in those places, whether I'm directly controlling it or not, and crafting a strategy that acknowledges that and that everything's just getting increasingly connected is going to be important.
So
Now, as to
what's
who's
the power of that though? What's the power of engaging people in that way as opposed to engaging them in traditional ads and traditional media? Like what is the power of potential of the metaverse? Because that's really the big question is cool, great word, science fiction, awesome. But what does that actually mean? What can I get from this? What can I utilize from this? What can I learn from this? Right?
well, it's really a consideration of how everything is evolving towards being not just a platform but an ecosystem, and how people still no, and this is never going to change no matter how much science fiction actually happens in real life. People only have 24 hours a day to actually do things in. So the longer that you can keep people engaged within your ecosystem, whether that's a platform or other people's platforms or social media, the better it's going to be for you, because the longer that they're engaged there, the more likely they are to keep engaging from a financial perspective with you, even when they're not actually consuming your content.
What can we learn about this phenomena and what it means and how do we take advantage of it?
So if I'm a CEO or CMO in this space and I'm thinking about what I need to be doing, I would say that they should be thinking about not only how does my brand exist in a virtual space, how does my brand exist in a virtual space where the things that happen around it in that space are more important than what happens elsewhere. So I
So
think a
it's a
lot
really
of
it's a really good
brands.
way to taking your IP and your brand outside of its normal sphere and putting it into a new place and it gets new life, right? So it's got an opportunity to grow in a different way to a different audience and maybe be more impactful, right?
So it's not just a new space, it's going to become the dominant space. And so I
That is
think,
bold. You think it's going to be the dominant space.
oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
bold.
absolutely.
I like that.
Um,
This happened with YouTube, right? Way back when. Wasn't that a similar thing with brands where the advantage of YouTube was huge, but the disadvantage was letting control of your brand? Are we repeating this over again? And why does it matter? And why is it important to get these people in this space as opposed to just getting them in the normal ways?
I think it's accurate to actually think of the way these services are evolving as a cycle, with each cycle pushing a little bit farther towards this idea of not being able to control your brand while simultaneously increasing the level of services that are available to consumers in that space. And so we'll get to the point where people are watching movies in Roblox, or they're doing their taxes on social media, or however you want to actually describe it, where we're pushing further along that path that I don't think you would say that YouTube necessarily started, but YouTube was definitely a step along that path.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's really well said, David. Again, this is something we talk to consumers about, and it's a very different language, and we talk to our partners about. And understanding this space is not just critical so you can sound smart in a bar, but also to understand the future of kind of how consumers interact with brands. And that's changing every day. And that's something that we're always thinking about and talking about here at Magid. If you want to talk about this more, we're always available to talk about the metaverse. David could talk for a lot longer. Trust me, trust me. But we love this stuff. We enjoy it, and we want to be a helpful resource to you.